Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Wallet Wisdom, a podcast presented by Lake Michigan Credit Union. If you're new to the podcast or have been listening for a while now, Wallet Wisdom is designed around breaking down the ins and outs of financial aspects, as well as to help bring answers to some of banking's more confusing or complex questions. I'm one of your hosts, Brett. With me on the mic, my co-host, my good friend, Aldina.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. I felt like I needed to match your energy. I love it.
I appreciate it. You know, it's summer and it's like the sun is finally out. A couple hot days, but in my personal opinion, I know there's others that love that four-letter S word that during the December time and it is white falls. No, I prefer the warm beach sand. Yeah.
We had plenty of it. The winter was way too long.
That's right.
I was ready for this.
That's exactly right.
Even last week.
Well, you know, again, it's so nice to be back on the podcast and bringing more content out to our listeners. You know, Aldina, it's that time during the summer. I know not only is it exciting for weather, I think my wife is excited because it's time for the honey-do list.
Yes.
It's time to do the, you know, housework.
How long is your list?
It gets longer and longer every year because I don't get around to doing them.
I know. Ours just keeps getting longer, but we're not checking anything off just yet.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's so hard, you know, but it is definitely, I think, that time. And I think for a lot of listeners too, you might be looking around your house thinking, you know, maybe it's finally time to do this, or finally time that we get that, you know, project off the list finally. And, you know, and it could be a bunch of different things. It could be a bathroom. It could be a backyard thing.
A driveway.
Yeah, exactly.
New carpeting.
There's so many different things. But, you know, honestly, sometimes it's also tough to kind of get an idea of what it is to do, and getting ideas. You know, there's so many great resources online, but being physically in the space.
Even matching your style.
Yeah.
What do you like?
And sometimes you're like, you know, I've seen these cupboards for a while, but I don't know, are they slow closing? What do they look like? How do they work and function and all that? Well, we are excited because obviously here in Michigan right now, we have the Parade of Homes that are kicking off throughout the summer, and they're going to be all over Michigan. We've got obviously those in Grand Rapids, we have Lakeshore, and many, many other places as well, partnered with the HBA.
Yes.
And, you know, it's really a good chance to get out, see some of these homes, get some ideas of like, hey, you know, I like how that color and that trim works together there. And also, you know, the Parade of Homes is a great chance to talk with builders, get ideas, and hear a little bit more about what went into it, you know? So it's a lot of fun. And it's a first step in kind of getting ideas of what you want.
Yes.
You know?
Like taking your dreams and actually seeing them in reality too.
Exactly.
Like a few years ago, I walked through one of the homes and I absolutely fell in love with it because I did not see that color combination ever working together. And those different finishes and elements together just honestly made me fall in love. And that's kind of has been a reflection throughout our house, just because I saw that a few years ago, and
for sure
that was my style. But up until then, I didn't really know what I was really loving.
Yeah. It takes those like color palettes and all the little samples that you get to put on your table and kind of get an idea. It takes that and actually puts it on the wall. It actually, you see it, you know, it's really, really cool. So yeah. So for listeners, be sure to check out our website at lmcu.org. We've got information on there. You can find just on our mortgage end of things as well, just kind of learning about the HBA and the Parade of Homes. I'm sure if you check out your, you know, the Googles, I believe Google knows a lot of things. So check out that as well. So, but that's helpful to kind of get the ball rolling in ideas. But then now for listeners, it's like, how do you start to execute on those things? And, you know, not everything is cheap these days.
No, it's not.
If anything, building, as many people probably know, has gotten more and more costly. You know, lumber costs and a lot of other aspects. It's just inevitable. So how do you afford to be able to do those types of projects is kind of then the next question, I think.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And we've got some great products we talk about a lot on the podcast.
I was just going to blur it out.
Yeah.
We have some amazing products that we have covered here before, but definitely something that a lot of our members have been able to put those dreams into real life, and that is using their equity in their home, which is also known as the home equity line of credit.
Yeah.
So those are definitely something that a lot of our community is taking advantage of right now.
Absolutely.
Because you've been given additional equity because of the housing market right now.
Mhm.
However, though,
Yeah.
with that said too, if you're maybe not in a position where you have that available equity, we have lots of resources out there too that
Absolutely.
could still not. There shouldn't be a stopping point for you
Yeah.
to create those
Well, and I think
visions to
too,
come to life.
instead of just pulling a credit card out and
Mhm.
putting that on that may have some high interest rates,
Correct.
HELOCs or home equity line of credit, like you said, really can use that equity that you have built in on a much smaller percentage rate than like a credit card, let's say.
Correct.
And having sometimes those resources, the financial resources readily available like that, can really give you a lot more speed in your project. I was talking with a member and they were talking about their HELOC, and they said it was so nice when they had some storms come through, and there was some roof damage that the insurance covered most of, but they needed to still pay for some of it.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was so nice that they knew that they had that ability to use their HELOC, and they were able to keep moving forward with the project. Because it is tough. Sometimes there's those unexpected types of home repairs and different types of things that come along.
And it's really nice. The home equity line of credit is a nice product to have as a backup just in case of those emergencies.
Absolutely.
But also if it's like an extended project that you are going to work on for a while, to be able to have that extended repayment of borrowing from it. You're working on this project, you take some time to pay back on the loan, but then it's available to you again. That's the beauty of the equity. So
keeps that revolving option
and then
available.
Maybe you're like, oh, I love the kitchen now. I'm ready for the bathroom remodel.
Right.
And, we're not encouraging anything.
Right. I think
we're just helping
listeners are learning what we want to remodel in our homes.
Yes.
You've hit two of the main things that I want done at my house as well.
Yes, absolutely.
But Aldina, it's not always the case that is an option for everyone. And I think we've all seen over the last, couple decades, especially, but even within the last 10 years, a lot more of the DIY approach to things. And
which I love.
I know, right? There's something about sweat equity that I think just adds more value.
Pride and joy.
Whether you can sell it for that much more, maybe not, but it's your personal value,
Yes.
But it's fun to be able to look and say, I did that. And I've made this not just a house, but a home, and so those DIY projects come along and you're like, okay, we can maybe do that. And of course, I think most people's first thought is, well, I'll go to YouTube and we're going to learn how to use a miter saw.
Yes. YouTube University.
Right. Exactly. But I'll tell you, I think having a more hands-on learning opportunity and having trusted people in our communities that are able to give us more perspectives and walk beside us, I think that's a lot more of a better way to learn, in my opinion.
It is. It's a much more realistic approach too.
It is.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm more of a hands-on learner.
Me too.
Watching a video is probably not going to do much for me.
Well, and when you think about it, a video is a very one-directional kind of conversation. If you have questions along the way, you can't ask the YouTube video.
Yes, you're going to watch another video
to
answer that question.
Exactly. Versus having resources and talented people around us in our communities that can help us. And so we just happen to have somebody in our community that does this so well. And we are so lucky to have two of their representatives here today. So we are so excited to welcome both Alisa and Amber to the podcast. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being here.
And again, Home Repair Services, really amazing nonprofit that we get to partner and support in our communities. It's something that as LMCU, we've been really passionate about what you do for our communities as well. But I could try and say all that, but I'd love to hear a little bit more from you both about how that, resource is available.
Yeah, sure. So in general, home repair services focuses on 3 main pillars. One of them being the DIY portion of it is self-help. So we do teach people how to do things in their home, fix things. The other part of it is a repair program that is focused on low-income homeowners. I'll talk about more about the DIY, but low-income homeowners get to participate in our program. You have to income qualify for it, but it's a great program that offers those basic repairs in your home. And then the program that Amber and I work with is more financial education and foreclosure prevention. So we focus on just resources for the community. But yeah, and Amber, I know she's going to focus a little bit more on the budgeting portion of things. But for the DIY portion that you mentioned, we have a lot of classes.
No kidding.
We have some rotating ones that we have: plumbing, electrical, drywall, cabinet installation, tiling and flooring, and then general home maintenance. So general home maintenance is like more of a how to take care of your home. But we also have special classes that are offered once a year or twice a year, like deck building, for example. That was one a couple weeks ago. I took that one. I'm not planning on building a deck yet, but
but it's good knowledge. It's great.
It's great.
That's right.
You can hire me. It's going to be very expensive and probably not well done yet,
but very expensive.
Yes, very expensive. My time is valuable.
Yes, that's right. Everyone, that's right.
Yeah, we also took a sighting class as well. So that's one of the special classes that they have. Also, if you're a woman and you're a little scared of what the class might look like, they do have a women's only class set up.
Oh, that's great.
So that you learn how to fix things as well, but also like how to use power tools.
Sure.
Which is something that women don't usually get that from their parents when they're growing up.
Right.
So we try to
bring that empowerment to that. Absolutely.
Yes. Absolutely. And even providing a safe space for, just a women-led class, to not feel that intimidation with your other classmates potentially.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's so good.
We also have another special class that is for women over 60. It's called Handy Helen. And that one is a great class because it also people who are older feel like they don't have the power to do the things. And that's very important for us that people feel empowered to do that.
That's so amazing. That's so amazing. And also they walk away with some really great knowledge, tangible knowledge to be able to take back to their own homes or whatever project that they are looking at doing. I think that's just so intentional on your company's part to make sure that you're reaching the right people in the community. That's just so cool. And now, for listeners that have been listening for a while, we did have also somebody from Home Repair Services on talking about maybe a year or so ago, and great episode too that got into a lot of the aspects that go into it. And so we love when listeners go back and listen to past episodes and hear a little bit about that. And so I had a chance to learn a little bit then of just how much this can take. For listeners, I guess, for them to be able to take this back home and really practically put it in and implement it. So it's really, really cool. It's amazing.
Alicia, how would someone in our community know about these upcoming classes, or how would they sign up for that?
Yeah, so you don't need to sign up. Well, for the women's only, you do, and the Handy Helen as well, just because we provide a little bit more resources and we want to make sure that people are there. But for the other classes, they're usually on Saturdays or Tuesday evenings. You don't need to register, you just show up.
Wow, that's
and our calendar can be found on our website, and also on our Facebook page is pretty active with those. Events. So it's a great opportunity. And we always tell people, like you were mentioning, that empowerment piece. We always tell people, worst case scenario, you don't do the work, but when you hire someone, you can say, that is not the right way to do it. I know this because somebody did it. Somebody talked to me about this.
They like to put out those big words that they think that you don't know about.
Right.
And you can be like, I learned that.
That's right. Well, and I think even, we've seen, sadly, in the past several years, more and more of that predatorial approach for elderly people.
Yes.
And because of that, sadly, you're right. That's the kind of stuff that can happen is like, I could kind of get more out of this person. And sadly, the same thing happens with women. And you couple both of those together. Right. It's a recipe for, unfortunately, a lot of that predatorial approach. So to your point, knowing those terms and knowing like, you're not pulling that one on me.
Right, You're providing so much education to them too, not only visually hands-on, but also, like you said, the terms, the whole process, how long, especially if you're hiring somebody, how long is this supposed to even take? Right. Are you charging me for additional hours? For no reason. With that said, too, how long are the classes generally?
So depending on which class, but most of them will be for 2 hours. So usually on a Saturday 10 to noon is the usual schedule. And then the special classes change on the days, and it depends on a lot of things. But those are just the DIY classes. We also have a lot of more financial oriented classes, also talked about, predatory lending, that kind of stuff. And predatory construction, what is it that we call it?
Contractor scams.
Yes,
we do talk about that.
So Amber can talk about that.
So we do have what's called Smart Money University, and that's usually towards people that are 55 and older, and we do talk about those types of things as well, identity theft, all of that. But I know we are going to be including actually a budgeting piece into the workshop series here in the future, just because, there's that implementation piece of like, sure, I know how to do it, but now I got to either save up or I have to see if I'm going to get a HELOC in order to pay for it, or I need to budget for it. And then what does that look like? Like, how much are materials? Like, I can stand in Lowe's and Home Depot all day, and and I love the smell of it.
It always smells like a brand new home every time you walk in.
The lumber section always gets me.
Yes, I love it. Yes, it's I have to have money in my pocket if I go there, even just to look. But it's just that piece of what you want may be expensive as well. So then we need to look at what type of tiling do we want for our floors, or what type of flooring do we want, and seeing how much it would be to, if I'm going to do it myself or if I'm going to hire somebody, then I need to budget that out
for sure
in order to do that.
You're helping them as they walk out, knowing what the next step is.
Exactly.
So the budgeting component is so important that you have added to it or are planning on adding to it, because you've learned how to do a deck, but now I walk out, now what? How will I make that happen in my house? I know how to do it, but obviously you still have to run and get all the supplies and all of that stuff.
And me and Alisa were talking earlier, we were saying that something could always go wrong as well.
Right, you gotta have that contingency.
Need to have that, you need to have that backup just in case, like, I didn't buy enough material or something, or something
and if you're
broke.
doing it DIY,
right.
There's a margin of error potentially you need a budget for.
Yes,
Brett, and are you speaking from experience?
I might need 4 more 2x4s because I messed up the cuts.
Oops, I broke a wall.
Broke a wall.
Yeah, and then also you need to know who to call if that to happen.
Right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Now, one thing I remember too is a part of going through these courses, there's other, then it kind of opens up the door to have more resources available as far as like being able to borrow tools, or being able to, kind of tap on people's shoulders again and say, hey, I'm actually really doing a project now. I learned this, and 6 months go by and I'm like, hey, I'm finally excited. I'm going to, put down some new wood flooring in our kitchen, Hey, how does that, how do we go about that? What does that look like from there?
Well, I do know we also do have a kitchen remodeling program, specifically only for people who live in Kent County.
Okay.
So there's no income restrictions on that, but by taking those classes, it actually helps you be in line to meet with one of our managers, who is actually like an in-house coach. And he's able to sit down with you, look at, the floor plan of your kitchen and what you want it to be, and then also those, those pallets that we were talking about earlier, and looking at at that and seeing what type of kitchen cabinets that you want. And then also it is, there is some income that you need to put into it, right? So, but it also is that DIY of like making the kitchen on your own and having that sense of pride, like I made this. So yeah, taking those classes basically opens up the door to maybe even doing a kitchen remodeling with us, and having it be at a lower cost than like actually hiring somebody else.
Yeah.
I think the great thing with that is too that it helps you to stay within code as well.
Yes.
And I'm speaking from experience. When we did our kitchen, there was so much that I learned, especially, you know, where your kitchen island is located at, and the pathway around, like next to the cabinets, you know, how long they had to be for, you know, wheelchair accessibility and like all of that. There was so much that I learned. There's so many codes that you have to stay in, especially, you know, for resale. When you have an inspection, they look through all of this. They measure everything.
Yes.
Yes, they do.
Every door. Apparently, there was a very slim door in our house that was not up to code. I'm like, I did not realize the doors can be too slim.
Right.
That's crazy.
So all of those things, but that's wonderful to just have a coach that you can say, like, I want to do this, I know how to do it, but will you help me along the way? That's really awesome.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
during the classes also, one of the things that they always offer is if you are working on something, because people always have questions about what they're currently doing in their home. If you do have specific questions, like take a picture of it, email it to us. We'll be able to like look at it, assess it a little bit better. And then most of the time, depending on their availability, they might even show up to your house, right? So
That's great.
sometimes people
now
go
that's
to
full service.
I know, that is.
people take all the classes, and like we start recognizing the people that are taking the classes, and then we're like, okay, I know exactly where you live because you've shown me so many pictures of that. And then it's people who are like, you know, getting all of the other resources, right? Like going to all of our classes. Maybe they're interested in doing their kitchen at some point. Maybe that's not in their budget yet, but they're working towards it. And maybe they are repair clients as well. So it just, you know, it intensifies our reasoning for doing this and for actually offering all of the options that we have.
And that is amazing. And something I've learned is that is not necessarily a resource that is everywhere in America. So, I mean, to know that this is kind of in our backyard in Kent County and in the West Michigan area, sorry for our friends in Florida, but, you know, there are obviously a lot of other resources that you can look into with LMCU and be able to we can help point you in some of those right directions in those other areas. But again, for listeners, go out and check out. Tell us your website again one more time.
Yeah. So it's homerepairservices.org.
Perfect. Easy to remember. But definitely check them out and get out and see what options are available. And, you know, maybe it's just even a date night, you know, go and learn how to put in cabinets.
Why not?
Doesn't that sound like a great date?
Really, Brett?
I feel like that would be what my wife would do. It's like, we're going on a date, honey.
You would be surprised of how many people are couples that will be like, well, then I can't. If I go, then he's gonna have to go. Like that'll get him to. Maybe this will hint to him to actually figure out how to do it or actually do it.
So excited for that. My husband, however, would be like, this is absolute torture. Like, why are we here?
And it's usually the women that are like, maybe I can get him to actually do it now because he knows how to do it now.
Right. So I mean, again, great resources and great ways to learn and grow. And we just thank both of you for making time to be able to join us and kind of help our listeners better understand what's out there, especially here in West Michigan. And I'll tell you, I'm looking towards a couple of trainings this summer potentially. So you might even see me down there.
Okay,
good.
Amber, before we end the episode, you started saying on the other classes that you offer as well. So budgeting, what are some other classes that you have going on right now?
Yeah, so we do what's called a Money Matters series. So we do the budgeting, credit, and home buying classes.
Perfect.
An hour and a half long, depends on the month if it's online or in person. But those classes just teach the basics. The home buying class is a basic as well too, just to see. I always tell people, you know, home ownership is not really for everybody, so maybe that might be like a pre of if home ownership is going to be for you.
That's a great point.
So yeah, it's all of them are free as well too. So yeah,
and we've participated in some of those
yes,
too.
you have.
So
yes,
That's great.
definitely always great questions come out of those too. So what a great free resource for our community. So thank you so much for everything that you put out there.
I do also want to say that the classes, whether it's the DIY or the financial capabilities or money matters classes, all of those are free, and people don't have to live in the county to take those.
that is true.
So all the education is for anybody. If you're coming from Ottawa, again, whatever.
We get people that come from Muskegon that show up on Saturday for those DIY classes because that's the closest one to them. So, and we won't ever turn them down. So,
No, that's awesome.
I love it.
That's really cool, man. Well, I guess now I have no excuses for what I have to get done at the house.
I feel like we put you in a tough situation.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it. I'm just kidding.
Those cabinets are calling your name.
They are. I know. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Well, we are so excited to have had you on and just helping again our listeners. So, get out there, have some fun with some projects.
The summer's long. Make the most out of it.
That's right. And don't forget to have a little bit of fun as well. Okay. And it's important. It's the summer.
DIYs are fun.
That's a good answer. Good answer. Oh, well, again, thank you for everyone tuning in. Be sure to follow us if you're not already. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're on LinkedIn. You can find out all the happenings at LMCU and what's happening on Wallet Wisdom. And some great community-related things as well. We've been doing some volunteering and all kinds of fun things.
It's such a busy summer.
It is. So until next time, everyone, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Thanks for listening. The information provided in this podcast by Lake Michigan Credit Union is general education or marketing in nature and is not intended to be accounting, legal, tax, investment, financial, or other advice. Statements of individuals are their own, not LMCU's. All topics discussed are information of a general nature and do not address the circumstances of any particular individual or entity. Consult an appropriate professional concerning your specific situation. As of the date of publishing and any future date this podcast is broadcast, all rates, fees, payments, or other specific figures discussed are subject to change and are dependent upon your specific financial situation. All loan products discussed are subject to credit and collateral approval. You alone assume the sole responsibility of evaluating the merits and risks associated with the use of any information or other content in the podcast before making any decisions based on such information or other content. In exchange for listening to the podcast, you agree not to hold LMCU, its affiliates, or any third-party service providers liable for any possible claim for damages arising from any decision you make based on information or other content made available to you through the podcast. For more information on any of the content discussed in this podcast, please visit lmcu.org. Copyright Lake Michigan Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender. LMCU, NMLS ID number 442967.